What if humans could survive in space without a suit? Imagine waking up one day and realizing that every human on Earth has suddenly gained the ability to survive in outer space without a suit. No more helmets, no more pressurized oxygen tanks, no more bulky suits that make you walk like a penguin on stilts. Just your normal clothes, or maybe not even those, depending on how bold you're feeling. You can step outside the International Space Station and take a cosmic stroll without exploding or freezing or instantly suffocating. That's the premise. But let's be clear, the implications would be way more bizarre than we might expect. First of all, space tourism would explode. Literally everyone with a decent income and a mildly adventurous spirit would be queuing up to get launched into orbit. Space hotels, orbital zip lines, and low-gravity skydiving parks would appear overnight. Forget five-star resorts in the Maldives. Now you're booking a weekend stay at Hotel Luna with views of Earth's curvature from your bedroom window. Billionaires would still build rockets, but now they'd be fighting to outdo each other in zero-gravity dance clubs or who could throw the most luxurious party on Mars. Champagne tastes better in orbit, Elon Musk would tweet. And he'd be right, because without a space helmet, you could finally sip it in style. But things would quickly get weird. Let's say you, a regular person, go outside and start floating in orbit. You feel no pain, you don't suffocate, your blood doesn't boil. Congratulations, you're now a certified spacewalker. Except, you're also now in a vacuum. That means your sweat can't evaporate, so you're sticky. Your tears won't fall. They'll float around your face. Your farts, silent and deadly. No air, no sound. And you better watch where you aim, because without a suit to contain it, you might propel yourself in the wrong direction. And speaking of direction, without a tether, you're basically a drifting human satellite. Accidentally push off from your spacecraft? Congrats, you're now the newest moon of Earth. Rescue may be a long way away, and the next Uber might take a few years to arrive. Sure, you won't die, but you'll have a lot of time to rethink your life choices while doing slow cartwheels past the Hubble telescope. Then there's radiation. Even if you can breathe and your body somehow resists vacuum pressure, space is still filled with all kinds of deadly rays. Solar radiation, gamma rays, cosmic rays. It's like a tanning bed that goes up to 11, so while you won't die instantly, you may want to limit your daily spacewalks unless you're into the crispy human look. Sunscreen SPF 1000 might become the new standard. On Earth, science would change forever. Astronauts could now repair satellites with their bare hands. Colonies on the Moon or Mars would be a lot easier to build. No more worrying about suit leaks or airlocks. We'd start sending construction workers to space with tool belts and hard hats instead of pressurized capsules. Space might finally become a blue-collar workplace. Interstellar mining, zero-G plumbing, and orbital pizza delivery could become real jobs. Imagine a pizza boy launching a thin crust to a floating customer with perfect mid-air aim. Tip included. But human society wouldn't stop there. People would start adapting their lifestyles. Some might move into orbit permanently, living in big transparent domes just for the view. Others might turn the moon into a giant campground. Instagram would be flooded with photos like me and Bae chilling on Europa, no helmet, no problem. Teenagers would sneak off Earth not to party in the woods, but to party on space rocks. But, as always, humans being humans, we'd mess it up somehow. Without the need for suits, countries might get into a new kind of arms race. Not for nuclear weapons, but for who controls the best real estate in orbit. Want to take over a new satellite territory? Just send a crew of human astronauts with space jetpacks and a flag. No suit logistics, no delay. Space would become the new Wild West, with space cowboys dueling in low Earth orbit with laser-guided tools. Also, consider the problem of trash. If humans can go into space anytime, trash will too. People would start throwing old fridges and couches into orbit just to see what happens. Earth might end up with a ring of garbage thicker than Saturn's, complete with flying sofas and half-eaten burritos from failed picnics on the moon. Religion and philosophy would go haywire too. Ancient myths spoke of gods walking among the stars. Now, humans literally are. People would start to wonder, are we the new gods? Or just monkeys with more room to fling ourselves into oblivion? Let's not forget romance. Dating apps would add low-orbit meetups as an option. Weddings on Mars would become trendy. Honeymoons in space would become the ultimate flex. You haven't lived until you've kissed someone while floating through a meteor ass shower with Earth glowing behind you, unless you miss and spin away awkwardly for several minutes. Eventually, kids would be born who think walking outside into space without a suit is totally normal. Grandpa, did people really wear giant balloon suits to go to space? And you'd sigh and say, back in my day we had to put on a helmet just to fetch a bolt outside the ISS. In the end, humanity would expand, faster than ever. With no biological limits to stop us, we'd colonize the moon, Mars, Jupiter's moons, and maybe even start building our own little worlds in orbit. Floating neighborhoods, space universities, a Starbucks on every asteroid. So, what if humans could survive in space without a suit? We'd thrive, innovate, explore, and probably make a huge mess, but at least we'd be doing it in style.